And then I guess just going now down to the high school guys. Coming out of the weekend, I think Florida State has a very damn good chance to flip Penn State safety commit Comrade Hussey from the Nittany Lions. We'll see how it works out here, but he was a big fan of Florida State growing up, and they really impressed him throughout the weekend to the point where he said in his exit interview that he was a little shocked and just overwhelmed by the trip to Tallahassee. So you've got to feel comfortable there.
Yeah, I like that Hussey guy, man. And definitely if you're looking at safety, we talked about it earlier with Akeem Dent and what that room could look like. Yeah, you got to build some depth and get some younger guys at that position specifically. You can look in the transfer portal if anything comes up, but you want to start developing your own, kind of like what Florida State's done in the defensive end room with Pat Payne. You want to have that kind of talent that you homegrown and you'll be able to utilize for the next couple of years and not have to rely on the transfer portal too much. But I do Hussey definitely. It seemed like he really enjoyed that visit there. He kind of came away shocked to it.
I think if you're able to land Hussey, Edwin Joseph, and then also the UCF cornerback transfer, Devontae Brown, that's a very good conclusion for Florida State to defensive backfield recruiting in this cycle. And then this weekend, I mean, you've got Virginia cornerback transfer, one of the top transfers in the country, Fintrell Cypress, scheduled to be on campus. It's going to be another –
give me that name. I need the name. That name's pretty fire. I gotta say.
Fintrell Cypress from Virginia.
Fintrell Cypress.
As of right now, Florida State, 13 more official visitors going to be on campus this weekend. So the next couple of days are going to be even crazier than last week, and I'm excited.
Especially with the football-only facility breaking ground.
Not that excited. It's going to be a ton of work.
Here we go. Here comes a complaint.
Let's go through the names for this weekend, though, real quick. Like I said, Virginia transfer cornerback Fintrell Cypress. You've got Colorado offensive line transfer Casey Roddick, a grad transfer. Auburn offensive line transfer Keandre Jones, massive, 6'4", 340 pounds. Western Michigan defensive line transfer Braden Fisk, a top target for Florida State in the transfer portal. And then also recent commitment from the transfer portal, Miami defensive lineman Darrell Jackson will take his official visit to FSU this weekend. And then let's go to the high school class real quick. Top wide receiver commit, Hakeem Williams will be in Tallahassee. Got longtime wide receiver commitment, Vondravius Jacobs, legacy, and the first commitment for Florida State in the 2023 class, Lamont Green Jr., four-star defensive tackle KJ Sampson, who kind of surprisingly committed to Florida State back in March, but has held strong ever since. Defensive back KJ Kirkland committed to FSU since the summer. Defensive back Jabril Rawls committed to FSU since early in the fall. And then two targets, some interesting names here. Wide receiver Andy Jean, a Florida commit. He was back in Tallahassee during the regular season finale whenever Florida State took down the Gators. Didn't choose to interview during that trip, but with him taking an official visit on the final open weekend before the early signing period, I think that shows that there's mutual interest between both parties. And then finally, you've got three-star offensive lineman Chris Otto, who we've mentioned a couple of times on the podcast throughout the fall, kind of an underranked guy that Florida State likes on the offensive side of the ball right now, but could go to the defensive side of the ball whenever he does get here to Tallahassee. That's a guy who I do think will end up in the class, but as of now, he's not planning to sign in December. So 13 official visitors coming to Tallahassee. FSU pushing for a 14th guy to arrive in four-star defensive end commit Keldrick Falk. That would be an unofficial visit this weekend, but they want him in Tallahassee because Auburn is pushing for a flip there. So if he shows up at Florida State, you've got to feel comfortable that he's going to end up signing with the Seminoles. If he goes to Auburn, not a good sign that he would probably end up flipping to the Tigers. And then just to end it off, there were two other guys that were supposed to be on this list that are no longer on it. You've got JUCO offensive lineman Keyshawn Blackstock. Feels like he's going to be headed elsewhere as FSU focuses on portal prospects. And then three-star wide receiver commit Darren Lawrence. Goldie was supposed to be in for an OV this weekend, but he will not make it. I did ask Florida State. There are no concerns as far as him not ending up in the class. He will be signing with FSU later this month. So, yeah, another really big weekend coming up for Florida State, not only on the high school front, but also the transfer portal front. And hopefully I'm healthy enough to cover the whole thing.
Hey guys, this is Logan. Definitely appreciate you for watching the entire video. If you wouldn't mind, definitely hit that like button down below. Leave a comment on what you thought about the video, and make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you guys haven't yet either, make sure you're signed up on our Patreon. This is where we're giving our inside news, inside nuggets, recruiting scoop, and so much more daily. You guys can sign up for that at patreon.com/NoleGameday. It's the cheapest option out of any outlet covering Florida State athletics right now at $2.99 a month. I highly suggest going to check it out. Once again, patreon.com/NoleGameday. Come hang out with us. See you guys there, and thank you for watching.